Welcome to the 60 Plus Podcast.
I'm Janet.
I'm Joe, and I'm so
Hi.
happy.
Are you? Why are you so happy?
Well, this is the third time we've done this
Yes.
where around your birthday,
Yes.
we have a real talk with Janet.
Yeah.
And it's so much fun for me because I get to develop 10 questions
yes, and you have new ones
that you haven't
I
seen.
have not seen. I am flying blind here.
And
I have to say I'm a little bit nervous.
but before we get to it,
Yes.
what did you think of our first on-site remote
was
episode last
fun.
week at
I
LaSalle Village?
enjoyed it a lot.
It
and
really was fun.
I'd like to do more of that.
I would too. I would
So,
highly suggest people go back and listen to
last week's episode. Live at LaSalle Village.
Live at LaSalle Village.
Yeah.
All right. So, should we get right to it?
I guess. Do I have a choice?
No.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
So, this is a real talk episode where we ask 10 questions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've already established this, but we should go through the motions, do it just like any other real talk episode.
Okay.
You have to admit that you're over 60 years old.
Well, I guess I probably wouldn't have started this podcast with you had I not been. So,
Right.
yes.
So, you are.
Yes, this
Okay.
has been a coping mechanism. No, I'm kidding.
I just got a text from a listener
Yes.
about last week's episode.
Oh,
What an awesome podcast. I found it incredibly inspirational. I'll share with many multi-generational people.
wow.
Right?
Very cool.
Yeah. It's not the whole thing, but
But that's the
that's
upshot.
the import of it.
Very nice.
Literally came in as we're recording this episode.
That could be a game changer.
Could be. All right. Question number 1.
Yes.
Another year has come and gone.
Mm.
Now, how do you feel about being 60 plus?
Even more resolute
Oh, good answer.
that I shall continue to strive. I mean, a lot has happened this year,
Do you want to
and-
elaborate? You don't have to.
well, I published a book.
Mhm.
I became a grandmother.
Mhm.
I am learning and growing,
Okay.
and I want that all to continue. And I think, again, last week, interviewing, they were well into their 70s, 80s, 90s, even 100. And one of the things that was said that really resonated with me was when I asked about sort of the background of the residents, the intellectual power, because they're all lifelong learners. And the president said that they don't really talk about what they did in the past.
Yeah, that was very interesting.
Yeah, they focus on learning new skills
Going forward.
and striving towards new passions and learning and growing and changing. And that I am all in on that.
And it was interesting to me because nobody there was even close to 60.
I know.
I think the youngest person we talked to was in their 80s.
In fact, the resident who was interviewed said, Jennifer, that she was a quarter century beyond that.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, but you wouldn't know it by
No.
looking at them and interacting with them, sharp and in good shape. And we've done episodes about this,
Mhm.
the benefits of lifelong learning and keeping your brain young and keeping, that mind, body, spirit connection. So
Okay.
it's all good.
All right. Here's an easy question.
Okay.
Question number 2. Have you taken advantage of a senior discount? If yes, yes, was it uncomfortable to do so? If no, why not?
Well, actually, it wasn't uncomfortable. I have been asking the question more frequently. Do you have a senior discount? And if they don't have a senior discount, I say, do you have one for educators? And if they don't have one for educators,
Do you
I
have
say,
one for
do you
podcasters?
have one for nice people?
Okay.
And usually, if you get the first no, you're apt to get the second and third no. But honestly, it's almost at this point, there are occasions, and this has happened, where it was just as kind of assumed,
Mhm.
you're with somebody who's a senior, they
Mhm.
ask for a senior, you're going to get the senior discount too.
Mhm.
So you don't have to be obnoxious about it, but it's a valid question, and I have grown to get comfortable asking it.
I remember the first couple of times I took advantage of a senior discount in person. Online is a completely different.
Right,
It's
right.
easy.
Yeah.
But in person, um, the first time I was going to the movies and the person I was going to the movies with nudged me and said, "Oh, they have a senior discount." And I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
it was a little awkward for me anyway.
Right.
I've gotten used to it. It's not an
Yeah.
issue anymore.
And I do try and verify like what age because that varies. The discounts can
Yes.
sometimes be 60, sometimes it can be 55.
Hmm.
Some retail establishments you wouldn't even realize
Right.
give discounts for 55 plus. So it's always worthwhile to ask.
Sure. Save a couple of bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Why not?
Soon we'll be on fixed incomes. So,
Yeah,
all right. Question number 3. Since the last time we had a Real Talk with Janet episode, you've become a grandmother.
I have.
I have some yes or no questions.
Oh, okay.
You can answer yes or no and not elaborate,
Those are my only options.
or you can elaborate if you wish.
All right.
Does it make you feel older?
No,
Okay. That's a good answer.
I think it's energizing.
All right. Is it easier or harder than being the mom?
Oh my goodness, way easier. So far, anyway.
Okay. All right. Think back to your younger parenting years.
Mhm.
Does being a grandmother make you relate more to your parents?
Yeah, I actually have been thinking about that a little bit, how they were as grandparents and I can see myself emerging as thus.
As the granny.
Yeah,
Okay.
don't call me that.
The only reason I do is because you say, don't call me that.
I know, because you love to torture me, don't you?
Question number 4.
I'd better be careful.
Hmm.
More questions are coming. Yes.
What's something different, for example, a new habit, a new perspective, a new experience, since the last time we had this conversation? And you can't say being a grandmother.
Well, becoming a published author,
Okay.
that was all new for me.
Hmm.
Going to, book signings and, learning how to market the book and pushing myself to write the next one. And all of that's all new. So I guess that answers your question.
It does. It does.
You wanted more.
You're working on the second book, I understand.
Yes.
Actively?
Um,
That's a no.
in my head.
In my head. I've got a bunch of stuff I'm doing in my head, but it doesn't.
Well, that's part of the process, though. You got to kind of plot it out.
Uh-huh.
You want to think about what's happening.
Okay. Do you want to plug the pre?
No, I can't because I can't assume that everybody's read Beautiful Jail.
All right. So let's
because
talk about
it's
the book you
the
published.
second of the series.
Yep.
And I don't want to give away the ending of the first.
All right. We did do an episode about Beautiful Jail, which is the title of your first novel.
Yes.
Do you want to give it a little plug here since we're talking about it?
Well, I have everybody I talk to, and they're not just my friends, but people who have read it have enjoyed it. It's a fun read. It's an easy read. If you love a whodunit, it's definitely worthwhile.
Do you want to say what it's about?
Well, it's about this.
Do you get this free advertising space here, Janet? Make use of. You're a marketing person.
Well, I like to say it's a one part romance, one part betrayal, one part murder. And the main character is taken into custody as the prime suspect. And she meets a cellmate who together they kind of go through, well, if it wasn't you, who, and the jury's still out on that, who was it then? And so you get her backstory going through these characters
Mm-hmm.
and what their potential role might have been in the death of her ex-husband.
Oh, it's her ex-husband.
Dun dun dun
I
dun.
was just going to say that. And where is it available?
Oh gosh, anywhere really. I mean, you can Amazon, Barnes and Noble. You can even go to your local bookstore and they can get it. It's
Mhm.
it's on the distribution. So
Do you have any readings or appearances coming up?
I don't have anything scheduled right now. So no.
Okay.
But I do say if you have read it and you do like it, please review it because that is very helpful to me.
On whatever platform you bought it from.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Question number 5.
Mm.
I know it's like asking to pick your favorite child, But what is your favorite 60 plus podcast episode?
Oh, wow, there's so many.
Well, there's 131.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I have learned so much doing this podcast. I almost would answer that question with what is the one that I refer to the most?
Mm-hmm.
I tell, because I find myself saying, "Oh, we did a podcast about that." I'll
Mm-hmm.
be talking to somebody and they'll be like, "Yeah, I got to find out about XYZ." I'm like, "Oh, well, we did a podcast about that." But we've had so many great guests. It's really hard to pick just one of the guests that we've had or the Real Talk guests that we've had. And I think the informational ones, especially the ones that were the science behind it, I
Mm-hmm.
love learning about that. So they're all my favorites. And then there's the Mythbusters, and I love those too. They're fun. And nostalgia episodes are a lot of fun too. So I no, I
You
can't
don't know
do
what
it.
favorite
I
means, do
don't
you?
have I don't have a favorite. I love them all. I love them all.
There's a couple I don't love.
Well, yeah, there were some were not as, and some were a little bit, the subject matter was a little Debbie Downer.
So, no favorites.
No, I'm not going to answer your question.
Nostalgia, Mythbusters, Real Talk.
They're all good.
They're all good.
Yeah, they're all
Okay.
good.
All right. Question number 6.
Yes.
What is something a 60 plus podcast guest has said that you've truly taken to heart?
Well, you know what? The comment that's most consistent, which I enjoy, is that it's like you're in the room with us. That we have this like banter and it's conversational and they feel close
Mm-hmm.
to that. And I really enjoy that.
So nothing they've said has been, you've taken nothing to heart. You've not,
Oh, you mean upset me?
no, no, no.
No. Oh,
Like
no.
that you've
Yes.
really incorporated into your life. It struck a note with you and you've acted.
Oh, our guests? I think I misunderstood your
Okay,
question.
you want me to repeat
Maybe
it?
you need to restate it. Yeah.
What is something a 60 plus podcast guest
Oh.
has said that you've truly taken to heart?
Oh, I was thinking about our listeners. Okay. Yeah, so much there. And well, certainly when we had the gentleman on PT,
Physical therapy,
physical
yes.
therapy,
Mm-hmm.
and some of, what he was talking about in terms of, the importance of balance and this and that. And I often think about, when I'm doing my exercise, I'm like, yeah, I got to make sure I do my balance exercises. I got to make sure I do my strength training. So there's been a lot of information as it relates to the health and fitness behaviors
Mm-hmm.
that I've adopted over time in this podcast. So yeah, I take those to heart. And also even simpler things that you can add into your. I actually turned the shower to cold this morning. I thought
Okay.
if I was going to go out in the freezing cold, I should acclimate my
We
body.
should explain that it's like bone chilling cold here
Yeah,
this week.
but that's like one of the things that you can do to stay youthful, right?
Okay.
To help your cells repair.
Are you going to do it again?
I will.
Really? It wasn't, see, if I.
It was horrible, but I'm masochistic, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you do feel good afterwards. It does kind of wakes up your skin. It wakes everything up.
Okay.
Like
So
everybody
it's a sharp blow
ready
to the
roll.
head,
Yeah.
but
That has the opposite effect. So yeah, there's been a lot.
it's interesting to me that you said the strength training
Yeah.
because in preparation for today,
Yes.
I went back and I listened to last year's
Yes.
Real Talk with Janet,
Wow.
and strength training was one of the things that you talked about last year as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I'm trying to keep up with that, and I want to stay strong, and I certainly want to be able to get up and up off the floor. That was a comment that resonated with me
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
when we had Megan on, and she's like, it's practical. You want to stay in shape. You want to be able to carry the groceries up the staircase. You want to be able to get up and down from the floor easily when you're playing with your grandchild. And I wasn't a grandmother at that point in
No, you
time.
weren't.
So that, is real, right? Like I want to be able to, and he's not walking yet, but when he is, oh gosh.
You're gonna chase him?
Oh yeah.
All right. Should we move on to the next question?
For sure.
Question number 7.
Yes,
You wrote this question, so
I
you can't
did.
dodge it.
Oh gosh.
What is your biggest delight at 60 plus? And you can't say being a grandmother.
Yeah, that's it. There's so many delights, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I do have an attitude of gratitude. That's not to say I'm like bright and cheery all the time. Sometimes I get down, sometimes I get whatever, grumpy, I don't know. But yeah, this attitude of gratitude, like for even the smallest things that I notice in a daily basis. Opening up that window this morning hesitantly. The
You opened a
shade.
window
No,
this
the
morning?
shade. The shade. The window shade. Because I wanted to look out at the sunrise.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just this beautiful orangey pink bouncing off the snow. And it was breathtaking. So I think those are my greatest delights, are those little moments of purity.
Okay. That's a good
Is it a
answer.
reasonable answer?
It is.
Phew. Okay.
Question number 8.
Yep.
What would you say is your best life lesson? Either that you've gotten or that you'll give to somebody else.
Mm. Oh gosh, I could go back to attitude of gratitude, right? Well, this metaphor that I've been using a lot lately, and I know I've mentioned it already, and I don't think you liked it, but it was about the dog tied to the cart. The cart's going down the hill. Does the dog resist and fight it? What do you think's going to happen to the dog? Or does it
Are you
run?
the cart or the dog?
Yeah, I'm the dog. The cart is life, right?
Okay.
And life is going to move forward, and it's going to take you with it, and you're either going to resist it or you're going to go with it, and you're going to happily run it beside it, get some good exercise. So, I think that is a lesson that I would certainly pass on to somebody, and some change we can't control. And if you try to resist it, you're just going to kill yourself. It's like sometimes you just have to let it go and go with the flow. And also, the other one that I really enjoy is that I just kind of came up with, and I'm sure I'm not like the first one who said this, but
Probably not.
if you're driving along in your car
Mm-hmm.
and if you looked in the rear view mirror the whole time, what would happen?
You'd crash.
You'd crash.
Right.
So don't spend a lot. I mean, yeah, you can glance in the rear view mirror, right? And you can make sure everything's
Sure.
copacetic.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stay looking into the past and not look through the front windshield, like that's the direction you're going in.
Okay.
So, and I think that goes hand in hand with change and embracing the future and embracing the moment and then building on that the next moment and the next moment.
That kind of goes hand in hand with what you said about the residents at LaSalle Village.
Yeah, I
That
guess.
they don't look back at what they were in their previous life. They look
Right.
forward.
There's still so much life
Sure.
to, it was interesting. I was listening to something this morning and it was, how many summers do I have left? Right.
Ooh, I don't like.
I know,
Mm.
I know, because we don't want to think about that, right?
Right.
If we're lucky, we've got quite a few, but you
Mhm.
just don't know. So it's almost like you want to live every day like it's your last summer, like, and you want to do the things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Light the candle.
No, I was going to get to that. We've gotten messages
About lighting the
about
candle.
lighting the candle.
Before that would put me in like panic, like I got to do this, I got to do that, jam everything in. And I recently decided that I needed to kind of just slow the pace
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not the answer, jam more in. It's more quality, not quantity.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, appreciating those little delights, taking a moment to let that soak in. And, it's amazing, like if you're a meditator, you, that 7 minutes can be a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only 7 minutes. You want to slow time down, like slow time down, right? You don't have to be the whirlwind. And I have been in that, one thing to the next. Like I'm so scheduled out, I don't have a moment in between. I'm really going to try to pull back on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You talked about this a couple of weeks ago where you talked about
Running
driving.
red lights.
Running red lights, but no, but it was about driving
Yeah. Traffic.
and traffic, and you would wait until the
You'd be
last possible minute to leave to go to the
'cause you don't want to
office.
sit in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I did this morning, actually? I got off the highway and I went down this beautiful back road, and it ran along the highway, and I could see all the horrible, nasty traffic on those 4 lanes. And here I am winding through the woods, enjoying every moment. And I'm like, this is
There you
the
go.
way to go. And I think I actually did better on time.
It's not the important thing.
It isn't. But, I had to be somewhere at a certain point. And
Okay.
I had stuff I had to do. But yeah,
Did you leave 10 minutes earlier?
no.
That's the next step. All right, question number 9.
Yes.
What do you wish you did during this past year that you just didn't get around to?
I actually can't think of anything.
Really?
I really can't think of any. Can you?
That's an excellent answer.
Oh, good.
No, that really is. It means, it's been a successful year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't like moss to grow under my feet too much.
Well, you just said you.
Well, I'm gonna try to let it grow a little bit more.
Okay. And you wrote this next question, so you
I
can't
did.
dodge it. And it's question number 10.
Okay.
What's next for you?
Well, the second book,
Okay.
taking care of my grandson.
Mm-hmm.
When my daughter goes back to work.
Mm-hmm.
That will be new, a new phase, a new step in the journey.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to that. And still have my travel list, but I'm not as anxious about that either. I'm just as happy to get in the car and go explore that as to get on
Watch
an
the people
airplane.
sit in traffic on the highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
yeah.
imagine you delight in that. You're like, oh, look at those suckers.
No, I'm not that way. I feel sorry for him. It's
Uh-huh.
horrible. That's like my least favorite place in the world.
It's traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is.
Okay. All right. Those were the 10 questions.
Oh, well, that wasn't too painful.
Why do you think I'm going to make it painful?
I don't
for
know.
you?
I thought maybe you would have a gotcha
Oh,
question in
no,
there.
no.
Although I don't know what that would be.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do? Go ahead. Hit me
No,
up.
no.
Bonus question.
No.
Just remember it's coming back to you in a
Well,
couple of
see,
weeks.
this is, yeah,
I see. I'm glad I go first.
yes. All right. So that was Real Talk with Janet. We do Real Talk with our hosts around their birthday, and Janet's birthday is
Coming up.
coming up very soon. So, well, Janet, it's been a real pleasure having you here.
Well, thank you, Joe. It's been a real pleasure being here.
I'm sure.
This is a great podcast. I think more people should listen.
They should. And you know how they can find out about it?
How?
If people share, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and
Yeah.
do.
And you can Google it. You can go onto Spotify and look
Mhm.
it up, 60, but you have to kind of, it's a little tricky because you have to do 60 plus podcasts with Janet and Joe,
And Apple
which is the full
Podcasts.
title.
Sure. And you can just say 60 plus Janet Joe, and I'd find it that way too.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So go for it.
Go for it. All right. That's this week's episode of the 60 Plus podcast with Janet and Joe. I'm Joe.
I'm Janet. Bye.